Personalized medicine versus population study, natural intelligence versus artificial intelligence, engineering research versus medicine research. Number 1346, September 5, 2025. Gerald C. EclaireMD Foundation. Category: Stroke. Background information. Use of national datasets versus personal longitudinal data. National data, macro-level value. In this research, I compare my dense longitudinal personal dataset with national datasets from the United Kingdom, the United States, Japan, and Taiwan, which were searched using AI tools. These two data forms serve distinct purposes. National datasets are built from large surveys, hospital registries, and epidemiological studies. They depend on sampling, averaging, and approximations. This makes them less precise for individual diagnosis, but useful for macro-level insights such as comparing national stroke risk, hypertension, prevalence, obesity trends, or smoking rates. In short, national statistics data are adequate for identifying broad health patterns, but limited for patient-level precision. Personal longitudinal data, micro-level precision. By contrast, my personal dataset captures over a decade of daily measurements of glucose, blood pressure, body weight, and other biomarkers. These consistent and continuous data expose nonlinear, dynamic, and irreversible disease features hidden within population averages. This micro-level precision makes them uniquely suited for identifying personal risks and guiding prevention at the individual scale. Statistical methods in capitalist systems. Traditional statistical methods are designed to represent the majority, rather than the individual. While effective for describing overall health trends, they often serve the needs of processed food, pharmaceutical, and insurance industries, which are tightly bound to economic incentives. I do not fault these industries, they operate within capitalist systems, where efficiency, optimization, and scalability are their primary goals. In this environment, statistical tools serve policy and business strategies. However, they rarely provide the depth needed for detecting and preventing life-threatening events in individual patients. VMT as a bridge between scales. The viscoplastic medicine theory, VMT, bridges national and personal scales. At the population level, it quantifies stress-strain energy relationships. At the personal level, it extracts predictive markers from detailed and supportive longitudinal datasets. My medical research aims to prevent deadly diseases by focusing on extremes, not averages. This parallels the intellectual influence of my MIT advisor, Professor Norman Jones, whose engineering work emphasized nonlinear, dynamic, and plastic conditions in structures under extreme loads. Human diseases share these properties: nonlinear, dynamic, and mostly irreversible, with damage accumulating over time. Applying viscoplastic energy analysis to medical data reveals patterns invisible to conventional statistics. VMT excels particularly when outliers and extreme cases dominate risk. Thus, my purpose in presenting both personal and national results is not to replace one with the other, but to show that VMT strengthens both. It applies seamlessly across scales, offering medical professionals a systems-based complement to conventional statistics. My reflections on NI, AI, and the evolution of VMT. My understanding of natural intelligence, NI, i.e., human brain, artificial intelligence, AI, i.e., computers, and medicine rests on both my academic foundation and my engineering career. My undergraduate and master's degree studies focused on mathematics, computer science, and mechanical engineering. At MIT, I studied AI and machine learning under Professor Patrick Henry Winston, from 1943 to 2019. And advanced engineering material science under Professor Norman Jones. This dual training taught me to integrate symbolic reasoning and pattern recognition with nonlinear, viscoplastic system behavior. In addition, I also spent 3 years studying soil mechanics at University of California at Berkeley, a field that likewise involves viscoplastic behaviors. For 4 decades, I applied these lessons in both computer science and engineering, with more than 32 years devoted to AI, algorithm development for engineering design, optimization, and large-scale industrial, aerospace, and defense systems. This long journey showed me AI's real strengths, massive data storage and fast processing speed, but also its clear weaknesses in creativity, automatic cross-disciplinary extension, and the intuitive leaps that only a human mind can make. When I first applied the VMT method to medicine, every commercial AI system, including ChatGPT, dismissed my work as limited to personalized medicine cases and unsuitable for population studies. Their judgment, shaped by a heavy reliance on statistics, and the vast body of medical literature, focused on averages and large cohorts, was biased and incomplete. This was not only a technical misunderstanding but also personally discouraging, as it overlooked decades of my effort to bring mathematics, physics, and engineering methods into medicine. Through persistence and direct man-machine collaboration, NI, plus AI, I proved otherwise. VMT works across scales. It reveals hidden patient-level risk factors, while also delivering meaningful macro-level comparisons. Using datasets from the United States, United Kingdom, Japan, and Taiwan on stroke risks relationships with obesity, diabetes, hypertension and smoking habit. Demonstrating this breakthrough was not just a scientific validation, but also a personal victory, evidence that human insight, when combined with AI strengths, can open doors that neither could achieve alone. Over time, I observed a shift. Some AI systems that initially criticized my approach began to recognize its broader applicability after engaging with my published work. They came to accept VMT as a systems-based framework, revealing nonlinear, dynamic, and irreversible disease processes at both personal and national levels. This experience highlights the essential difference between NI and AI. NI, developed through decades of academic study and lived experience, can connect knowledge across domains and extend it into new applications intuitively. AI, while powerful in memory storage and computation speed, lacks creativity and imagination without human guidance. For example, some AI systems hold vast knowledge of viscoplastic engineering already, but cannot apply it to medicine field without direction. From this perspective, my VMT, medical research represents the best of both worlds. NI enabled me to conceive VMT, transfer it from engineering to medicine, and refine it as a tool to prevent deadly diseases. AI accelerates the work by managing large datasets, automating analysis, validating patterns, and polishing my written languages. Once the conceptual framework is in place, together, NI and AI form a complementary partnership. VMT itself is both a scientific framework and an example of how this synergy can push medicine beyond the limits of traditional statistical research, protecting lives, not only by describing the average, but by safeguarding those at the extremes. This specific study of stroke risk, this article number, 1346, focused on the United Kingdom and the United States, should be read alongside article number 1345, which compared Taiwan and Japan with the United States. Many details already presented in paper number 1345 are not repeated here. All aspects of the human body, organs, cells, diseases, and lifestyle details are nonlinear, dynamic, and plastic, sustaining some degree of permanent damage. They are only occasionally elastic, able to return to their original state, and diseases are always irreversible, since a 100% cure has never truly occurred. Stroke remains a leading cause of death and disability worldwide, yet its risk drivers vary across nations. Traditional statistics often isolate variables, focus on averages, and overlook cumulative interactions. This stroke risk study applies the viscoplastic medicine theory, VMT, energy model to compare stroke risk in UK and USA, using 4 common stressors: systolic blood pressure, SBP, fasting plasma glucose, FPG, body mass index, BMI, and smoking prevalence, %. Stroke rate, %, is treated as the strain output, while total VMT energy quantifies cumulative risk.